Well, apparently I'm doing videos all day long today. Whoa, today's been a good day. It's like it's so hard to describe where I am and how I feel. It's like I'm on the other side now. First of all, 4 months here. Yesterday, I that was like 4 months. That's a third of a year that I've been here with my dog. And now it's like today, it's like is a new day. And the funny part is I've been thinking, yay, I'm gonna go paint again. I get to be in the studio. No, not yet. But I will. I know I will. And it's like, I'm excited but I still can't sand, can't do any of that. But I'm in transition right now. So I'm just gonna let that happen. So I just want to share some fun stories as I go. When I moved here, it's like, I just went like all the way, I zooped up. It's like to this place where it's like, okay, now I'm speaking things that aren't coming from me. But it was like, I was deployed on 3 different missions. And it was like one was at a print shop where this guy was having a horrible time. He didn't seem like it, but Mrs. Chipper shows up. And anyway, I end up giving him a card and I tell him where to go and what to watch. And it just like that day was wrapped in angel wings. So it's like, I know that moment changed this man's life. There, I checked a box. I did what I was supposed to do. The next day, I was going to go down the beach and I was told, bring the pink, like the ABC store bag. I'm like, okay. So I brought the baggie, put it in there, and I head on down. It's 8 minutes from my door to the sand. And I'm out there walking and it's like beautiful day. And I come across about an 8-foot across section of sand that has broken glass from a beer bottle all over it. And I look at, I'm like, it's like, I'm in bare feet. Everybody's in bare feet, which is why the people that leave dog poop there, please don't. I know it's really cool to kick it with your foot, the sand, but it's not cool if our foot finds it. But I saw this and part of me was like, I'm not touching that. But I'm like, I brought a bag, but I'm like, how much can you pick up? Like a dog poop bag? So anyway, I got the bag out and I was like, I don't want to touch it. And inside the bag was another baggie. And so I spent about 20 minutes picking up the glass here. It was a big section. I mean, it felt good. I mean, it was like a big, I was like, who does that? We won't even go there right now because people do that. So anyway, I go do my long walk down the beach. And as I come back, I see right next to where the glass was, I looked hard, but I didn't have a rake or anything. I saw stuff like towels and a cooler and stuff. And so I walked past and I didn't see anybody, but I headed on. I was almost to the exit when I saw a young family with widow kids heading towards that area. So I sprinted to get back there. I'm like, hey, and I told them, like there was broken glass here. Just don't, like, I knew right where it was, this tree trunk. So anyway, they thanked me and they got the heck out of there. And then another one was just being in the right place at the right time and saying the right thing. And this person just lost their shit, but they were grateful. So anyway, I knew after this, as time went by, that I was being tested. These were things I had to do. And I passed the test. When I was deployed, I did it. So a couple others came up, like in this area where I live, which is, I'm kind of kept in a bubble. I am not to have friends here. And I can't. Apparently, it's impossible. That'll be another story. But this one circumstance, I want to share it because it's like, watch out what you wish for. Okay. One day when I was walking Marley, we walk on this little path. She drives. She tells me where to go. And this man came out of his house I'd never seen before. It's like many people we've never seen, but he happened to be out and he saw Marley and he was like climbing over stuff to go say hi to my dog. And so she saw his love. So she's climbing over stuff as best as she can at 13 to go meet this man in the middle. And so he just loves on her for a few minutes. And I'm like, thank you. And so I love that when people go love on my dog. It was one day I came to the point when I realized that I'm not able to do the yard work here at this house. I'm sure my assistant that will show up someday is going to handle it because I can't. It's like, I can't do it. Carrie can't. Nobody can do it. It's not supposed to be done. And so it sits and it's horrible. So I can't even look at it. So she didn't even look at it as it's all dying now. But the neighbors poured concrete. Nothing but concrete, so you don't have to worry about weeds, anything. It's the last thing she'd ever want. But it's like, no maintenance. I mean, so anyway, in this haste, this moment, like I'm getting rid of everything, went walking by this guy's house and he had a rock project that had a lot of rocks left, just a section. And I sent him an email and I said, hey, I've got some rocks I'm getting rid of. hey, this could be win-win. And I sent the email and then I didn't check it for a few days. So what happened was he got the email and the next morning his yard guy was coming and they needed rocks, right? I am having Chardonnay, by the way. So he sees this email and it's like, it's a gift from God. He responded via email. And I didn't check my email. And then in the email, he said, I'm going to go knock on your door. And apparently he did. He knocked on my door, 10:30 in the morning. I was nowhere to be found, apparently. And who knows where I was, probably walking the dog. So anyway, he ended up getting rock and getting it done. So when I finally checked my email, I went back and said, I'm so sorry. I saw he already did the project. So we had just a couple light conversations about, being here and discovering what a weed is, because what's invasive. I'm looking at my yard. You can't tell, like, there's the ocean, but there's my yard. So we had a conversation. And so I'm going to read text messages that are up here on the screen. So we were talking about using vinegar to get rid of the weeds. And he's like, I agree. I too am a fan of low maintenance yard, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. As an aside about plants, I'm a neophyte and I only know what Dorothy Parker said about horticulture. My response was, and most of my texting is dictation and is always a wild ride where that goes. It would help if I proofread what I sent. I had to look up neophyte. I have no idea who Dorothy Parker is, and I am complete agreement. It was so pretty when I saw these flowers appear, but then they died. Now I have these dead stalks of celery all over my yard. I want nothing to do with it. He says, Dorothy Parker was an amazing woman. She is number 2 on my list of 5 people, dead or alive, with whom I would like to have lunch. And I respond, well, I'll have to look her up. And okay, asking, since you put it out there, and your number 1 is Bob Ross? And he says, no, a Jewish guy, Jesus. I'd love to pick his brain, to converse and to exchange ideas. Buckminster Fuller, Nikola Tesla, and Auguste Escoffier. And then he said Bob Dylan would have been a runner-up, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, and I said, we have someone very much in common. And I said, the story is too ironic, can't even begin to help make sense. But the Jesus dude recently has become ... not sure how to explain a connection. And so he has no idea yet what he's got into. He says, sweet, the man left not one written word, not one artifact. There is really, other than the 4 Gospels, no proof that he ever actually existed. I find that fascinating. And I said, to make it more interesting, one of my best friends is in Quito, Ecuador, and she is a quantum shaman. She channels Jesus and the boss. Let's just say my life is very, very fascinating and interesting. This is why you are the first person I've talked to since I've moved here. No one here could get me, even one tiny aspect of me. And he said, we should have coffee/tea/drinks. And I said, it would be interesting. You have no idea what you would be hearing. And I said, I'd be down for drinks. You would need one or more. And so we kind of fell off. And then I remembered I did the Ascension Chamber in Phoenix, Arizona, and Chad did the channeling to create the chamber. And who did he channel? Tesla, also on this dude's list. So I sent him the video with Chad and him talking about it. And I said, this is my buddy Chad. He built this place because he channels one of the others on your list. I have no connections to help me with the others on your list. Make sure you listen to the last line of the video after the reviews. And he says, thank you. I'll check it out. And then from there, it got interesting. I knew at that point that he bit off more than he can chew. A few days went by and I sent him an email talking about a story in one of Carolyn Mace's books. And I don't remember who she talked about. I will just use the Dalai Lama. But there's this person that had an appointment with the Dalai Lama. It's like set up 3 years, 5 months, whatever down the road. And this person checked the days off the calendar before the day, got to meet one-on-one, face-to-face across with the Dalai Lama. As the time got near, this person travels, planes, trains, ships, automobiles, anything he can to go across the world to get to the steps to meet the Dalai Lama. When he got to the Dalai Lama, he was at the door. And then he walked away, and then he took all the trains, planes, and automobiles all the way back home. And when asked, why you had this appointment, You went all this way. Why did you not go through the door? For the same reason this guy didn't want to talk to me. He wasn't ready for the way his life was going to change. And that's the truth. This stuff, once you know it, you can't unknow it. And that's where a lot of people, they just want to like go, la, 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 la. I don't want to go down that path because if I go down that path, I'm going to know something that I can't unknow and I can't take it back and I don't want to go there. But hey, you actually do want to come here. Okay. You do want to come here because this is where we're all going to. And to get here, you have to take huge leaps of faith. But in doing so, you get to somewhere so much better than where you were. I know it can't seem like it because you're leaving Dorothy and the kids and y'all down the street. Whatever your situation is, you have to leave, whatever it is, be it your job, be it the nice car you thought you had to have. Whatever it is you have to part with, whatever lesson you're learning, it's getting better. And so for those who test drive these waters, they know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go long. That's it. Chardonnay. Thank you. Great idea.